Feel like your best years are behind you? I did too, until I realized something powerful. Your spark isn't gone, it's just waiting, hidden in that old hobby, that forgotten joy, that little thing that used to make your eyes light up. Let me show you how rediscovering it, even for 15 minutes, can shift your whole day. Ready to find what lights you up again? This might be the spark you've been waiting for. 1. Happiness starts in your mind. Hey there, friend. Imagine us sitting on my front porch, rocking chairs swaying, a cool breeze rustling the leaves. I've been thinking about how life throws so much at us. Doctors' calls, family squabbles, that noisy world out there trying to tell us how to feel. Ever feel like happiness is slipping through your fingers, no matter how hard you hold on? I used to think it came from getting everything just right. Kids visiting, bills paid, joints not aching. But here's what I've learned. Real joy isn't out there. It's up here, in your head. Take my neighbor, Doris. She'd fret over her son's late-night shifts, picturing every worry under the sun. One day she told me, I can't change his hours, but I can change how I think about it. She started focusing on her morning coffee instead, savoring the quiet. Marcus Aurelius, a wise old voice, said something like, Your life's happiness depends on the thoughts you pick. Simple truth, the world can rumble, but you decide what plays in your mind. So, how do we do this? First, catch yourself. Next time you're stewing over a grandkid's choices or a creaky knee, pause. Second, swap the thought. Tell yourself, I'll enjoy this day anyway, and mean it. Third, try this today. Sit with a cup of tea, name 3 things you're glad for, like a warm blanket or a friend's laugh. I did this after a rough doctor's visit. Quit replaying the what-ifs, thanked my lucky stars for the nurse's kindness. Felt lighter right away. Ever tried shifting your mind like that? What worked? Share below. I'd love your take. Here's a new angle. Your thoughts are like tuning a radio. Skip the static, find the good station. What's one worry you could tune out today? The summary. Happiness isn't waiting for life to settle. It's choosing calm thoughts, right where you are. Next, we'll talk about cutting through the noise to keep that peace. Stick around, won't you? What's a thought you've swapped to lift your day? Drop it in the comments. I'm eager to hear your story. 2. Let go of the noise. Hey friend, picture us by my kitchen window, the one overlooking the backyard where the birds chatter at dawn. Life's gotten loud, hasn't it? News buzzing, phone pinging, folks expecting you to keep up with it all. I used to dive right in, checking updates, worrying about the grandkids' screen time, even fretting over neighborhood gossip. Ever feel that racket drowning out your quiet? I'd end up with a headache, wondering where my day went. But here's what I've figured out. You don't have to dance to every tune. Take my pal Henry. He'd start his mornings glued to the TV, grumbling about politics. One day, he turned it off, sat on his porch with a coffee instead. Said it was like the fog lifted. He could hear himself think again. Marcus Aurelius, a wise fella from way back, hinted at this. Don't let the clatter outside run your show, guard your calm. Plain and simple. You can't hush the world, but you can turn down its volume. Here's how to try it. First, spot the noise. Maybe it's that phone buzzing with alerts or a friend's latest complaint. Name it. Second, step away. Mute the news for an hour. Let the call wait. Third, fill that space. Take a walk, listen to the wind, or flip through an old photo album. I did this when my arthritis flared. Quit scrolling health tips, sat with my tea, watched the squirrels instead. Felt steadier by noon. Ever shut out the racket and found some peace? How'd it go? Tell me below. I'd love to hear. Here's a fresh twist. Letting go of noise is like clearing a cluttered table. Suddenly, there's room for what matters. What's one sound you could mute today? The summary. Strength comes from choosing your quiet over life's clamor. Tune out and tune in to you. Next, we'll explore finding your spark to light up your days. Stay with me, okay? What's a noise you've dropped that gave you back your calm? Share it in the comments. I'm all ears for your wisdom. 3. Find your spark. Hey there, friend. Let's imagine we're out in my shed, the one with the workbench where I've patched up chairs and built birdhouses over the years. Ever feel like the days just roll by, doctor visits, grocery runs, same old routine, and wonder where the fire went? I used to think my spark faded after the kids moved out, like my best years were behind me. But here's what I've learned. There's something inside you, a little glow, waiting to light up your mornings again. Think of my neighbor Alice. She spent years raising a family, then felt lost when the house got quiet. One day, she dusted off her sewing machine, started making quilts for the grandkids. Now, she's up early, humming, excited to stitch. It's not just a hobby, it's her reason to greet the day. Marcus Aurelius, a wise voice from long ago, said something like, "We're here to play our part, to give what we've got." Plain talk. You've got a gift, maybe it's cooking, gardening, or telling stories, that can still shine. So, how do you find it? First, look back. What's something you loved doing even years ago? For me, it was tinkering, fixing things with my hands. Second, try it small. Spend 15 minutes today on it, like pulling weeds or baking cookies. Third, ask, does this feel right? If it does, keep going. I started with a broken chair, hammered a nail, felt that old thrill. Now, I'm out here most days. Here's a real example. My cousin Ed, after a hip replacement, thought he'd never fish again. One morning, he grabbed his rod, sat by the lake, caught nothing, but grinned all day. That's his spark. Research says folks who chase what they love live happier. Makes sense, right? Ever found something that pulls you out of bed? What was it? Share below. I'd love your story. Here's a new angle. Your spark's like a lantern in the fog. It doesn't fix everything, but it guides you through. Maybe it's knitting for a church sale or calling a lonely friend. Small, but it counts. What's one thing that could get you going tomorrow? Try this. Tomorrow, set out something tied to it. Your recipe book, a sketch pad, right where you'll see it. What's a gift you've tucked away that's itching to come out? The summary. Your spark's still there. Find it, fan it, and watch it warm your days with purpose. Next, we'll see how evenings set you up for brighter mornings. Stick around, won't you? What's a spark you've rediscovered or want to try? Drop it in the comments. I'm excited to hear what lights you up. 4. Evenings. Set the stage. Hey, friend, let's picture us in my living room, the lamps glowing soft, that old clock ticking on the mantel. Ever notice how your mornings feel rushed, like you're already behind before the coffee's brewed? I used to think it was just how days start, stumbling out of bed after late nights scrolling the news or watching reruns. But here's what I've figured out. A good morning doesn't begin when the sun's up. It starts the night before. Take my pal Marjorie. She'd stay up fretting over her daughter's rocky marriage, phone in hand, texting advice till midnight. Woke up groggy, snapping at everyone. One evening, she put the phone down, lit a candle, and just sat. Next day, she was humming by breakfast. Marcus Aurelius, a wise old soul, hinted at this. Give your mind time to settle. It shapes what's ahead. Simple idea. How you wind down sets the tone for how you rise. So, how do we make it work? First, pick a cutoff. Say, an hour before bed, no screens, no worries. Second, ease into it. Try a deep breath, in and out, or flip through a magazine. Third, plan a bit. Jot down 3 things for tomorrow, like call the pharmacy or water the roses. I started this after a restless stretch. Quit doom-scrolling health forums, sipped tea, wrote walk the dog on a notepad. Slept sounder, woke up clearer. Here's a real story. My cousin Bill, after years of late-night TV, tried reading a Western instead. 10 pages, lights out. Says he's sharper at dawn now. Research backs this. Folks who unwind before bed sleep better, feel stronger. Ever tried tweaking your evenings? What shifted? Tell me below. I'd love to hear. Here's a fresh take. Your night's like laying the table for breakfast. Set it right, and the meal's a breeze. Maybe it's soaking oatmeal overnight or picking out tomorrow's sweater. little moves that matter. What's one evening habit you could try tonight? Try this. Tonight, set a timer for 30 minutes, sit with a warm drink, no distractions, just you and the quiet. How's that feel? What's a night routine that's worked for you, or one you'd like to start? The summary. A peaceful morning grows from a calm evening. Give yourself that gift and watch your days brighten. Next, we'll talk about how small wins build a bigger life. Stay with me, okay? What's an evening trick that smoothed your mornings? Share it in the comments. I'm all ears for your ideas. 5. Small wins build big strength. Hey friend, let's imagine we're out on my back deck, the one with the wobbly rail I've been meaning to fix, sipping lemonade as the sun dips low. Ever feel like life's big stuff, health hiccups, family rifts, looms so large you don't know where to start? I used to stare at those mountains, thinking I had to climb them all at once, kept me stuck, worrying about my creaky knees or when my son would call. But here's what I've learned. The strongest lives aren't built in one grand leap. They grow from little victories, stacked day by day. Take my neighbor, Clara. She couldn't fix her arthritis, but she started making her bed each morning. Just smoothing the sheets gave her a lift, a tiny win to lean on. Marcus Aurelius, a wise voice from way back, said something like, "Do the small things well. They shape who you are." Plain and simple. Little steps aren't little. They're the roots of something big. So how do we stack those wins? First, pick one thing. Maybe brewing your tea, not gulping it cold. Do it today. Second, stick with it. Set your slippers by the bed tonight, ready for tomorrow. Third, notice the boost. How does that 5-minute walk feel? I started this after a rough winter. Couldn't run anymore, but I'd shuffle to the mailbox. Felt prouder each day. Here's a real story. My buddy Frank, after losing his wife, thought joy was gone. He began watering her old roses, 5 minutes, daily. Now he's out there chatting with the blooms, smiling again. Research says these habits build grit. Small acts train your mind to stay steady. Ever tried a little win that grew on you? What was it? Share below. I'd love your tale. Here's a new twist. Think of small wins like pennies in a jar. Alone, they're nothing, but they add up to treasure. Maybe it's calling a grandkid or folding the laundry. Each one's a brick in your strength. What's one small move you could make today? Try this. Tomorrow, set out your favorite mug tonight. Brew coffee slow, savor it. How's that shift your morning? What's a tiny habit you've loved or want to start? The summary. Big strength comes from small wins. Start where you stand and watch your life grow steady and strong. Next, we'll wrap up with how this all ties together for a fuller you. Don't miss it, okay? What's a small win that's lifted you up lately? Drop it in the comments. I'm excited to cheer you on. What about you? Have you had a moment like this in your life? Drop it in the comments. I'm excited to read your experiences. Friend, life's shown us a thing or two, hasn't it? One lesson stands out. Happiness isn't out there in the noise. It's in the quiet of your own mind. I've learned I can't fix every ache or make family visit more, but I can choose thoughts that lift me up. Letting go of the clamor, news, worries, endless to-dos frees you to hear yourself again. And there's a spark inside, maybe rusty, but still there. Something like gardening or storytelling that gives your days a glow. How you end your nights matters too. Less screen, more calm sets you up for brighter mornings. Small wins, like making the bed or a slow walk, aren't small. They build a strength that carries you through. Marcus Aurelius once hinted your life's joy comes from what you focus on, not what you force. So today, try this. Tune out one distraction, savor one simple thing, a cup of tea, a chat. You've earned the wisdom to see what counts. Peace isn't in controlling it all, but in tending your own patch with care. What's one little step you'll take to find that calm?